Whoa!
What's the blue thing?
What's that?
So let's start with the big blue elephant in the room, methylene blue. Everywhere on the internet, methylene blue seems to be cropping up. Is this like a brain booster, an energy hack? Is it anti-aging? Is it anti-cancer? Or is it just textile dye and a chemical?
My short answer will be all of the above.
This is a potent medicine for many of our medical conditions. To me, concept-wise, it becomes a nutrient. So many of us might be suffering from mitochondrial dysfunction. Methylene blue has got this property that it tries to correct that mitochondrial dysfunction.
So what exactly is happening in my body when I take methylene blue? Hi everyone, welcome back to Take 20. Today I am glad to be doing this special edition. It is a 4-part series on Take 20 with Dr. Mitra Basu. We did an episode before and we got amazing responses. There were questions, there was curiosity, there were some doubts, and also there was a lot of hope. So I just felt that a 4-part series would answer a lot of your questions. I love that you're curious to know more, and honestly, I'm the happiest because this is my favorite subject and I get to further this dialogue with one of my favorite people, Dr. Mitra Basu. Doctor, we're happy to be back.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to extend my gratitude to you to invite me on this platform so that I can voice my opinion about a couple of things for the service of society at large, I would say.
And I actually must tell you today that I am going to be playing devil's advocate because, there is so much information on the internet.
Yeah.
And the more you read, the more conflicting it gets. And sometimes the information feels like it's too good to be true. And sometimes there is so many red flags, feels like science fiction almost. So today I feel like I'm going to play the skeptic because that's what the audience feels as well, that it gets so confusing, it gets overwhelming, and they're just filled with doubt by the end of it. So I just hope, not that I want to dismiss any of these ideas, but I want to understand them better. I want to get past the headlines, the hype, into what's real, what's science-backed, and what's more than just wishful thinking. So let's start with the big blue elephant in the room, methylene blue.
Yeah.
So everywhere on the internet, methylene blue seems to be cropping up everywhere.
Yeah.
And more so because there was a video recently of RFK Jr., the Secretary of Health of the United States of America. He was filmed putting a few blue drops in his water, and the internet went ballistic. They were like, what is this? Is this like a brain booster, an energy hack? Is it anti-aging? Is it anti-cancer? Or is it just textile dye and a chemical? Like, the internet is split. So doc, what is methylene blue?
My short answer will be all of the above, I would say.
It is a chemical and a textile dye as well.
See, I'll tell you, Sam, methylene blue, primarily it was not a medicine when it was synthesized. Somewhere by German scientists in 1876. That, I think his name was Caro. So Mr. Caro was trying to make as dye for fabric dye.
Like
So
a blue dye for fabrics?
for fabrics. So that is how methylene blue originated. But of course, it's a fantastic dye. You know what dye is basically? Any chemical which produces a color is a dye to us.
Right.
Like their food colors. We never call them chemicals when we put these food colors in our food. So
Yep.
there are so many food colors we use. So many of these colors used by chocolate industries or people who are making toffees or ice creams. And
So you're
other
saying
things.
dyes are everywhere?
So dyes are everywhere. So dye is the only one property of a chemical that it has got a distinct color, makes it a dye. Now, later on, it was found out that this particular molecule, methylene blue, has got a couple of medicinal property, and incidentally, methylene blue becomes first fully synthetic medicine as far as modern medicine is concerned.
The first.
First fully synthetic.
So it's not
medicine.
really a new wellness
No
trend.
way,
And
no way. It has been used during Second World War as an anti-malarial or to even traditionally it has been used, it rather still is being used for various life-saving conditions like methemoglobinemia, even cyanide poisonings, even people who suffer from shocks. Like this is a potent medicine for many of our medical conditions.
So how did it disappear suddenly?
See,
If you're saying it was used for decades, it suddenly disappeared.
so what happens is it did not disappear completely. It remained a valid drug for various emergency situations. But for past a couple of years, I would say it's more than a decade, then there was a group of people, they started doing research in low dosage methylene blue. See, there are two types of approaches when we talk of any drug or any medicine or even vitamins nowadays. One is full dose. We call it therapeutic dose of a particular chemical or a nutrient. Second is what we call is low dose of it. So sometimes the effects are different. When a particular drug is given in a particular dose, the effects are totally different. When the same chemical is given in a different dose, then maybe the effects are
Therapeutic.
is it may be therapeutic, maybe it is regenerating, or maybe like is something called hormetic effect. Like there is a particular dose or a concentration where the effect is maximum. So what was found out recently was if methylene blue is given in lesser doses than it was recommended to treat various diseases, it becomes a sort of, I will say, a nutritional compound
Wow.
for anti-aging, for regeneration, and for regeneration of not only your body, regeneration of your brain also, regeneration of various organs. Like there are experiments going on, and that is how methylene blue is becoming more and more popular.
So do you use it in your practice, and what degree of success have you found with methylene blue?
I use low dose methylene blue day and night in my practice. And to me, as just mentioned, to me it's a nutrient now. It's no more a drug. Of course, technically, people may say that I am technically wrong because it's still a drug, but to me, concept-wise, it becomes a nutrient. Nutrient means something which you require to take. So that is how I propagate methylene.
But if someone wants to is curious about methylene blue, what would you advise them? Because the dose seems to be vital, so you can't go around self-medicating, can you?
That is the most important point. Still, it remains as a prescription drug.
Right.
So I will always suggest anybody who becomes curious, because there's a lot of information now on social media, on internet about methylene blue. Some of it could be right information, some of it could be a misleading information, we don't know. But whenever we come to a compound like methylene blue, this is always good to consult your medical service provider, your medical doctor or your consultant to discuss about various uses, how methylene blue is to be used. And then we chart out the doses. See, it's not the only doses which are important. There are some people we cannot give methylene blue altogether. We call it contraindication. So,
Oh, wow.
people suffering from some conditions.
Who shouldn't be touching methylene blue? Who shouldn't go near methylene blue?
Like for example, commonest is pregnant females, or lactating mothers, or people who are already on some medicines like what we call, and there are so many antidepressant medicines which people, if they are already taking, they could clash, the methylene blue could clash with their effect, and it could lead to some undesirable effects. So people who are already on some medications, they should be very, very cautious about use of methylene blue. Then there are some genetic conditions also, Sam, like one of them is what we call is G6PD deficiency. Though only a minuscule proportion of population suffers from deficiency of an enzyme, and that enzyme, that is called glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, it neutralizes various drugs and toxins in your system. Methylene blue also requires that enzyme to. So if people who are suffering from that deficiency or that genetic disorder, they are advised not to take a drug like methylene blue.
So there are certain contraindications for methylene blue. It's not, everyone can take it, and it's like nutritional supplement of that
Correct,
sort. It
correct.
has to be taken with care.
Correct. That's why I said ki whenever anyone who wants to start a protocol of Methylene Blue, he or she must discuss with their medical practitioner.
What exactly, now in layman's terms, I'm not a doctor, so I really want to understand though, because it has a wide variety of benefits, right? Anything from mitochondrial health, energy hack, brain booster, anti-aging. It seems to be like it has all of these benefits. So what exactly is happening in my body when I take Methylene Blue?
See, Sam, what happens is, what I suggest people ki don't take a disease to appear in your system to start thinking about starting Methylene Blue.
Not sick care, but preventive care.
As a preventive care, as
Right.
a part of it. Because the beauty, the magic lies in the way Methylene Blue acts at a cellular level. What happens is, most of these diseases, what you were just discussed about, may be like a dysfunction of your brain health. Like some people, they suffer from memory loss, or people suffering from Alzheimer's, people, they have got Parkinson's disease, or sometimes the people who have got even early stage of cancers. And then there are various metabolic conditions, even diabetes. There's so many diseases. The primary defect, which is common to all of them, is what we call is a mitochondrial dysfunction. Methylene Blue.
Oh, you're saying all of these have one similarity, is that there's a mitochondrial
There are many
dysfunction.
similarities, but one common similarity between all these chronic disorders is usually mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria, we all know, they're part of our cell organelle, which gives us is energy in the form of ATP. So we take food is digested by our digestive system, then it circulates through blood, it reaches cells, and cells. Mitochondria is the place where the food goes, and we get converted into ATP, or our energy currency, utilizing oxygen and carbon dioxide and water. They are the byproducts of this food metabolism. So maybe because of hundreds of the reasons, maybe toxins, maybe lifestyle, maybe aging per se as such, or maybe the food we eat, so many of us might be suffering from mitochondrial dysfunction. Methylene Blue has got this property that it tries to correct that mitochondrial dysfunction. And the beauty of Methylene Blue is it is both fat soluble as well as water soluble. So our cellular membrane, the membrane of our cells, or the membrane of mitochondria, or even blood-brain barrier, they are not able to stop Methylene Blue. So it can easily travel through these membranes and get widely distributed in our system. And which is mitochondria. Mitochondria, there are specific targets where Methylene Blue, it has got a specific role there. Sam, it's not only energy which is produced in mitochondria. It is even what we talk about free radicals or reactive oxygen species, which damage our system. They are also produced in mitochondria. So it does two functions broadly. Not only it improves our ATP production, it reduces the
Free
formation
radicals?
of free radicals and reactive oxygen species.
Oh, wow.
So in the bargain, what do we get?
More
We do-
energy, less brain fog,
Correct.
removes toxins.
Correct. And better healing or regeneration.
Oh, wow. So, as a preventive measure, Methylene Blue is something worth like being curious about, you would say.
Sam, I sometimes think why, if a person doesn't have any contraindication, like we just
Yeah.
mentioned pregnancy or lactating mother or very small children
Or not on
G6PD
antidepressants.
deficiency or not on antidepressants, if there is no antidepressant, why one should not be taking Methylene Blue?
But why is so much skepticism? Why so much, you see, like, I mean, I'm very sure that this episode is also going to get a bunch of
See, the
Trolls.
the good thing about skepticism is
That's not
that
stopping
it-
either
it
you or
means-
me.
Yeah, that there is a lot of curiosity happening around it.
Right.
Otherwise, why skepticism? So it means people are getting curious, and it's the right time to guide people in the right way so that they don't harm themselves also. But at the same time, they should be reaping the benefit of what is available around them. See, the demand from our memory or from unlearning capacity in past 50 years, we humans,
Has
I
been
think-
waning, do you feel?
is the capacity could be waning, but the demand has increased multiple
Ah, or maybe the demand has increased.
Think about like 30 years ago, 40 years ago or so, a youth, 15, 16, 17 years of age, was that youth had so much demand of like cramming so many subjects, like preparing for competitive examinations. Now it starts from first standard onwards. When I was preparing for my medical entrance examination, that was 11th standard, you become serious about medicine, and then 2 years you do preparation. Now first standard itself, like it, so demand is increased. And now because of type of food we eat, the type of toxins which are around us, and so many things, many of us have started feeling that the mental capacity, the memory part, the retention part, is not as good as it was a couple of years ago for population at large. This is a place where this a molecule like methylene blue can do wonders in people's life if used properly.
It's wonderful to hear that. I think that people are just really scared to talk about things that will get them trolled, and but it's important that we give that information. What they do with that information is up to them, but it's important that this information is out there. And also, with so much, with an overdose of information, it's also possible that people can misuse a wonder drug like this as well. So it's important that we get this information out there.
Correct. It's better to inform in a way so that it becomes useful for them.
When you take, first of all, how do you take methylene blue? Do you take it like, in drops, or as a tablet, or how do you consume methylene blue?
Sam, there are many ways people have been using methylene blue. Like it can be, there are the various solutions available in the market, which you can use them as drops, like dissolve in a cup of water or in a glass of water. And there are some even nasal sprays. People they have been using nasal sprays. Even during COVID time, methylene blue was used as a nebulizing solution to nebulize to expect an early recovery from COVID, or even for prevention of COVID. People have been doing that. I find the easiest and the best way is to get a pure
Pharmaceutical
heavy
grade.
metal free pharmaceutical grade methylene blue solution or drops. Put it in your drinking water and consume, but only under the guidance of or by your medical practitioner. How they advise you.
And how soon can one expect to feel different with methylene blue?
Immediately.
Immediately. Not like, those nutritional supplements where they
Not
tell you
at-
take
not
for
at
a
all.
month and you might or might.
Methylene blue doesn't require an accumulation to have its effect. It shows its effects immediately. Within, if you are very sensitive, within minutes you can feel that difference in your thinking process, the
Clarity.
that in your tiredness, in your this thought processes or mental fog, brain fog. But they use these words. So with single dose, you can appreciate the difference.
And who do you think would benefit the most from this?
Apart from contraindication, all age groups, whether
All
they are,
age groups.
or they're students or they are corporate employees or people who are entrepreneurs or business people or people who are retired in the old age, all of them. I don't find an age group or a class of people who will not be benefited from.
Can you give us
proper
one
use of-
success story that you've had with methylene blue?
So many, Sam, so many.
Did I just say blue? Blue.
I don't know. Out of so many stories,
Yeah.
this person who was preparing for his IS entrance examination, and he did not come to me.
You're giving people an edge, is it? With methylene blue? Unfair
Yes,
edge.
no, but how people are getting edge for them is they use use or misuse a lot of caffeine, coffee, stimulant. Like think of a 20 years old
I'm
guy
drinking
or a
coffee
girl.
right now, but I drink
Just-
only one coffee in a day. So
Correct.
I'm allowed.
But you're not preparing for your entrance examination, which
Yeah,
is
it gets wired. You get
competitive.
wiry,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
too
yeah.
many cups of coffee. Wired and
Yeah.
the fatigue is there, but you're just wired.
Correct. But what if I can tell you that you can easily get rid of your cup of coffee and replace it with methylene blue? So methylene blue is not a stimulant, but it will give you an extra energy so that you don't require a stimulant altogether. You know what the difference between when your brain is so-called stimulated by use of coffee and so-called stimulated by use of methylene blue?
What's the
basic
difference?
difference is if you are low in energy and you take caffeine. Caffeine somehow triggers your adrenergic responses. So there's a lot of adrenaline in your system. So it's something like
Your cortisol-
your adrenaline goes up.
Yeah.
So it's something like you are whipping a tired horse. A horse is already tired and you whip. Are you providing a horse the extra energy? Answer is no. Whatever energy reserves are there, you're further squeezing them inside the circulation to give that kick. And what would happen ultimately?
Burnout.
There will be burnout and crash. But what methylene blue will do? It will give you an extra energy from the source itself. The energy which was spent now...
Like from the
that's-
mitochondria.
From the mitochondria, it is producing extra energy for you.
Right.
So that is how you're talking about this case study. So these parents, they came to me and they said the person who was preparing for this entrance examination had started taking tea or coffee every half an hour to keep himself awake. That was a sad situation because parents were quite concerned. They were educated. They knew that this amount of caffeine is not going to be helpful for their child in the long term. So I called the student, I called him, counseled him, and then slowly I told him how to use methylene blue. So over a period of time, then I got a message from them that within 15 days, he was consuming about 15 cups of tea or coffee every day. That came down to about 2 cups of tea.
Wow.
And that too, just because of habit. Otherwise, the statement was that he doesn't actually require even those 2 cups of tea or coffee.
Wow. Yeah.
So like this, there are so many of things which we can do to improve the lives of people just using this simple molecule.
So for someone who's watching this episode and, should they actually... Is it for the supplement obsessed?
Is like getting the extra energy is only one part of the methylene blue.
Right.
Now we can discuss ours together as far as its regenerative potential is concerned. Who in their right senses will not require to get regenerated in the best possible way? We all know now that every minute, every second, every nanosecond, there is an insult on our system. We are using our energy, our cells are being broken down, new cells are being made, and there is regeneration happening, there is a degeneration happening, there is a balance of all these processes happening inside us. Who will not require a better regeneration? Methylene blue will give you that better regeneration. Who will not require a lesser load of toxins like reactive oxygen species or free radicals in your system?
When you say free radicals, does it like get rid of senescent cells, or is that how is it? Is it getting rid of?
See, what happens is, Sam, you think about it. The food which we are talking about, that food is ultimately going into mitochondria and ATP is formed. The ultimate that particle which we get from food, they are electrons. So these electrons somehow they have got the chemical process. Through that chemical process, they form this ATP molecule. Some of these electrons, they say somewhere around 2 to 5% of these electrons. This is not a very efficient. It's not 100% efficient. All electrons are not converted into ATP. Maybe 5% of the electron they go by.
Right.
See, something like you are putting gasoline in your engine. The total gasoline is not burnt. Some gets out and gets wasted. So these wasted electrons, which are not being able to use themselves to form ATP, these reactive electrons cause formation of reactive oxygen species.
Exactly.
Methylene blue will not allow that thing to happen.
Oh, wow.
So you must have heard the complex 1, 2. There are some various complexes in mitochondria. There are 14 complexes from complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4. It goes like this. Electron, they keep on jumping, and the last complex, complex 4, ATP is formed, and you get that energy. Methylene blue bypasses all these complexes and delivers all these electrons to the last step to form ATP. So these free radicals or reactive oxygen species or disease-causing entities, they are not formed at the last step. They are formed in these complex 1, 2, 3, mostly complex 3. They are formed. So it just bypasses them. So that is how it helps you in regeneration. So, and it helps in regeneration of your mitochondria also.
Can I take methylene blue with other supplements?
Correct. Like for example, I typically give methylene blue with ascorbic acid, vitamin C. See, vitamin C is a very, very strong reducing agent. It gives electrons. So methylene blue in its form, where it's called methylene, like it's blue in color, if I add ascorbic acid into that, it becomes colorless. It's called leucomethylene blue, like there's no color in methylene blue now. So those electrons from ascorbic acid, methylene blue has taken. Now this also, both the combination of ascorbic acid and methylene blue is a fantastic combination. It becomes a super nutrient to me. So taking ascorbic acid with methylene blue, because both we call is circular molecule. Methylene blue and ascorbic acid, they have got a property that they can give electron, they can take electron, they can give electron, they can take electron, they keep on doing it endlessly.
So together, what do they become?
So together they become
supernutrient.
super nutrient.
Right.
Super antioxidant, I would say.
And this can be taken every day?
This can be taken every day in a particular protocol, in a particular dose, which your doctor will be able to, should be able to tell you. And you go for an anti-aging regenerative whichever. And even there are studies who say that not only the regeneration of your brain, many diseases, methylene blue could be a potential cure. You remember there was a movie on very fast aging where Amitabh Bachchan played a role of like the child who looked like an aged man. I think the movie name was Pa.
Yeah, of course.
Pa movie. He's still a child, but it's such an accelerated aging stage, and the disease stage is called progeria.
Okay.
Methylene blue is a promising treatment for progeria.
Wow. And this is science-backed?
This
Like,
is science-backed.
there
There are
are
publications. People have published it that progeria, the main, because there is a protein called progerin, it is secreted. It encircles the nucleus of the cells, and that's why this aging becomes very fast. Methylene blue inhibits the progerin, and within a couple of weeks, people could find the reversal of aging process
Within a couple of weeks?
In the couple of weeks only, just by using methylene blue.
I know you like Dr. Thomas Levy, and he was also mentioning how there are more than 10,000 articles on vitamin C, yet nobody really talks about it. And when we ask, is it science-backed? It is very much science-backed.
It is very easy to miss the simple things. It's a complex thing, we all become curious. But very simple things, it is very easy to miss. So that is what actually is happening with methylene blue also.
So it's safe to say that this is not just a placebo with good PR.
And no, it is not. And one more thing about cancers. You know, methylene blue.
I was wondering when you would go there.
Methylene blue has got a potential here also in cancer treatment. Methylene blue specifically absorbs some waves, some like we know light there got specific wavelengths. Methylene blue absorbs specific light, which we call like red light or near infrared light. And once methylene blue absorbs this light, like suppose, for example, there is a situation like a person comes to me, I give a lot of methylene blue, then I expose the person to this light. Methylene blue will absorb that light and it will go into an hyperexcited state and will produce some entities some radicals, we call it singlet stage or triplet stage, which produce so much of reactive oxygen species that all these cancer cells, there is a probability that the cancer cells are killed because of that.
So this
And
is
there are protocols being developed by using this called photodynamic therapy. Like you use methylene blue, you use a particular light, and then you try to kill cancer cells.
I hope this episode on methylene blue helped. I know there's a lot of excitement, but there's also a lot of confusion. So I hope that most of your questions have been answered. If you still have questions left, please drop them in the comments. Maybe we'll do another episode on methylene blue. Who knows? Until then, don't go around drinking blue water just because the internet told you. So make informed choices. Meet with your healthcare provider, and please do not self-medicate. This was another episode of Take 20. Take care, and remember your health matters.